Okay, woo! Hello, everybody. My name is Josh Fluken, and today we're doing another unboxing that has been donated to me by some of my supporters. In this case, actually, super special unboxing we got going here. The Secret Lair series. We have volumes 1, volumes 2, volumes 3, volume 4, and of course, volume 5. Now, I haven't spoiled myself too much on these so far. From what I understand, they come with alternate art versions of pretty much the Theros gods from the original set, which is just fantastic. All the Theros gods from the original set were pretty OP, and they're very popular in formats like Commander, probably an Oathbreaker as well, and I've heard they're pretty popular in normal modern formats as well. So, today we're going to be going through and opening each of these, discussing some of the cards we get inside, and seeing all the beautiful shinies, which I'm hoping we get lots of here. So, let's backtrack and we'll go in numerical order, starting with glorious numero uno. So, let's start. I do want to thank you all, by the way. Everybody who's been viewing my videos so far. I was not expecting quite as much the first time through. And so far, I've gotten a lot of positive feedback. I really do thank you guys for that. As you can see, also customized playmat for these things. Look at that. Got ourselves nice paper on the outside so we don't scuff that pretty Secret Lair box. Oh, that's a nice shade of black. The letters are nice too. Drop Series. Theros Stargazing, Volume 1. Made in the USA, Wizards of the Coast 2020. Nice, nice. Well then, let's get to the opening. Nice magnet. Oh, look at that. Helios, God of the Sun. Beautiful. Yeah, that's a well done. They did it in the constellation style. That's nice. And I like that it's the older type too. So Helios, to those who do and do not know, of course, mono white, one of the primary deities of the Theros block. Indestructible, as long as your devotion to white is less than 5, Heliod isn't a creature. Other creatures you control have vigilance, and for 2 white, 2 colorless, create a 2/1 white cleric enchantment creature token. Just the enchantment and creature triggers for enter the battlefield effects is fantastic. He's a 5/6 for a 4-drop, indestructible, and I mean, your devotion has to get to 5. That was kind of the downside, if I'm not mistaken. All the solo ones had to have 5 devotion, but honestly, it's not that hard to pull off, even with multicolored creatures. So that's nice. I like that. Let's get that open so we get a bit of a better look here. I see you down there. We'll get to you in a second. Ooh. So, that, very nice. Pretty shiny. The artwork is fantastic. Love it. Ooh, this is one of the cards that easily gets some of the best play, both Commander and otherwise. Karamitra, God of the Harvests. All of them, of course, being legendary enchantment creatures and a god. As long as your devotion to green and white is less than 7, she isn't a creature, but she gets the combined devotion, of course. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you search your library for a forest or a plains card. Put it on the battlefield tapped and shuffle your library. The ramp on this, some people make a plain 5 cost, but it's a 6/7 and it ramps on each enter the battlefield trigger for creatures. That can get ridiculous quickly. I love it. The alternate art is just fantastic. She's got that weave to her. She's got the coverage, and the constellation's just so pretty. It comes off in the background. That's really nice. Now, what's this next one? Erebos, God of Victory. Look at that. Boros. Indestructible as long as your devotion to red and white is less than 7. Erebos isn't a creature. Creatures you control have menace and prevent all damage that will be dealt to attacking creatures you control. A 7/4 for 4 that just walks over things in Boros color. And it's really easy to get the devotion for Boros out quick. They're generally pretty creature heavy on their own, and a lot of them are double colored out. That just makes it so you can attack. You got some vigilance on that somehow, which many of the white enchantments do. And you get yourself a nice attacking force. Very nice. I already love it. I mean, the constellations are great. You can see them in the background as you shine it just a little bit. You can see the star points attaching on each of these. I'm not sure if I can get it on the camera, but I'm going to try. You can see those little tiny dots. Each of those connect together for the constellation for said deity. Now, one of the things a lot of people are also probably looking for, what did we get for the random card? Let's get this open. It's pretty. it's not bad. I still like the gods, but those stained glass planeswalkers, am I right? Nahiri Storm of Stone. So it's got the multicolor mana, which I really wish they would work more with. Multicolor mana is fantastic for both solo and non. As long as it's your turn, creatures you control have first strike, and equipment costs you activate at cost 1 less to activate. And she can deal X damage to target tapped creature, where the -X is how many loyalty she has. Loved, as much as this may be controversial, I loved the War of the Spark. It brought a lot of planeswalkers out. I don't know if anyone remembers when I first started Magic way back in the day, when Planeswalker did first come out, I couldn't get a Planeswalker. I couldn't even pull him from a pack to save my life. So it was nice being able to make it so somebody buys a pack of this, they're getting a Planeswalker, because Planeswalkers can straight up change an entire deck strategy by themselves. It's nice. And the art on these alternate art Planeswalkers is beautiful. I mean, look at that. The stained glass is just, it's nice. It's really nice. Now, we're hoping for a few different types of pulls, but for now, we're going to work with that. Let's get these set aside and get over to the next box, right? Now, on this end of things, I will advise as I'm pulling the next box over, anything you guys want to see in the comments-wise, unboxing, gaming, anything like that, let me know. I will also be doing special series eventually where I open up a box and draft an entire, probably Oathbreaker deck, because Commander's kind of a hard one to pull off with a single set. Out of that particular deck to face off against my friends. And they're not so restricted decks because, well, that's just how I like to play. Not that I'm good at the game, I just like to play with weird things. Now, Secret Lair Series Theros Stargazing Volume 2. Let's get that box open, right? And open it out. Get the garbage out of the way. Beautiful. Look at that. That's pretty. Same box design, the nice black. All these secret lairs were a great idea. Wizards of the Coast, great credit there. I know there's a mix of feelings on that one because they're affecting the market, but honestly, some cards being as expensive as they are, it's just ridiculous. I get it. They're supposed to have like a trade value in there, but it can become incredibly restrictive. There we go. Didn't want to rip it. There we go. Thassa, God of the Sea, is the top card there. I see you there too. We're just going to pop you out, set you down right there. You're coming up. Let's set that aside. Get into the gods. Mono Blue God 3-drop. I've actually heard she's pretty popular for a lot of Mono Blue Commander players. It could just be in my area. I've seen a few of her so far, which is really nice. We're going to set that down. Put this aside. What do we got here? So, Thassa, God of the Sea. So pretty, especially with blue. I don't know why. The blue and the green, and maybe that's just a personal preference, so vibrant on these. I mean, the constellation just makes it nice. That shine just seems to fit. Now, indestructible as all the deities are, as long as your devotion to blue is less than 5, Thassa isn't a creature. At the beginning of the upkeep, scry 1, you can tap 1 colorless, 1 blue, target creature you control can't be blocked. Not only does she make her stuff unblockable, she scries. Delving through your deck is always good. I mean, there are times maybe your deck doesn't need that kind of consistency, but that's what makes blue one of those colors that's just a powerhouse. It can move through things very quickly and shut and control games. This just makes it easy. 3 drops, so by 3rd turn, or even 2nd turn, depending on that 1st drop, you're getting yourself a creature that literally lets you scry off the top of your deck and that can make stuff unblockable for the win. That's nasty, especially for how cheap it is. But, you know, gotta love it. I actually loved the story they had when, if I'm not mistaken, Thassa faced off against Kiora. Kiora is one of my favorite planeswalkers, not just because the blue-green motif. She summons Leviathan-like sea creatures, and me being a big Godzilla fan, love me some big sea monsters. Okay, let's go to the next shot here. Ifara, God of the Polis. 4-drop, 6/5 indestructible. As long as your devotion to white and blue is less than 7, Ifara isn't a creature. At the beginning of each upkeep, if you have another creature enter the battlefield under your control since last turn, draw a card. And it's each upkeep. So I've seen some fun commander decks with this. Lots of flash and flicker effects. She wasn't super duper popular when she first came out, which is why her price kind of stayed down there a bit, which for me was cool because gods are also another one of those things like Planeswalker that were sometimes kind of hard to get a hold of enough of them to run in a proper deck unless you wanted to drop some money on it, which I couldn't. That's why I have to accept the wonderful donations that my supporters are giving me because I usually can't afford stuff like this. Fantastic, though. I mean, look at that. The blue-white split, it's just nice. It really is. Blue-white being one of like the ultimate control colors too, being able to control flicker on your opponent's turn and then draw a card, it's nice. This one's a little close to my heart. Blue-green, Krufix, God of Horizons. So, as you may or may not know, as long as your devotion to green and blue is less than 7, Krufix isn't a creature. You have no maximum hand size. If you would lose unspent mana, that mana becomes colorless instead. This is ridiculous in the majority of commander decks that it's played in. Being able to gain a mana advantage could be a big thing, especially for blue-green. There are tons of X-cost stuff in between the two colors that just let you spend colorless mana to rake people over the coals. One of the reasons I like blue-green just gives that in-between. I don't play control so much, but I love things that make my hand size maximum and lets me draw extra cards, and all that extra mana can do it, for sure. And again, the art on that is just, I mean, you can see where they took the time at the top. Those little cusps are just into the black border. The border itself doesn't really matter so much. It's almost like they stuck this in on top of the border when they were cutting it out and etching it. So pretty. Okay, and now the one thing many of you may be waiting for. What random deity did we get? Oh, this one. This is nice to have, actually. Narset, a Parter of the Veils. Each opponent can't draw more than one card each turn. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest of the bottom of your library in any order. This is a nasty card. I'm sorry. It's a 3-drop. It's got 5 devotion. It's -2, lets you delve. Each opponent can't draw more than one card each turn. Now, a lot of the Magic I play, like I said, I love effects that let me draw a card. This stops me from drawing cards. It makes me very upset. But have you ever been on the other side of somebody when you wheel into this? And a wheel effect, to those who are watching who do not know, is literally when you force your opponent to discard their hand and then redraw the same amount of cards. They're only drawing 1, period. You get to refresh your hand, they get 1 card. And in most of the games you're able to pull that combo off without getting shut down, you have such a hand advantage that it's very difficult for opponents to come back. I have never been able to come back from that because most of my effects in those colors draw cards. This, though, God, even the art on it. I really do like this version of Narset. I really do. It is a nasty, nasty piece. I haven't really checked to see much meta in Standard, but for how cheap it is, it can't be that far off. It's probably more as a side deck, maybe, and I could be very wrong on that. I'm not really up to date with hyper-competitivism. I just can't. I'm just not that level in this game. So, good pull. Blue and blue. All the blue. Blue love. Though some people may not. That's a good pull, though. So, let's set these aside. Move on to the next box. What do you say? Get that in there. We're going to set that down and put that right back here. And then we're moving on to glorious number 3. Look at that. Let's get this open then, shall we? Just want to get to it. Nice, nice. All the packaging consistent, which is nice considering they're shipped. Let's see here. So, Secret Lair Drop Series number 3. Stargazing. I love the idea of doing stuff like this. I hope they do this with more sets. And I know some people might get a little off because more money and whatnot. I get it. But sometimes, especially when we have something very unique, you want to bling it out. Like many of YouTuber for Magic has said before, Commander players love their bling. And that is not a lie. We really do. So, Erebos, God of the Dead. Very nice. Let's get the mystery card out because we want that to be a surprise. Set that down there. Don't stick onto my mat. There we go. Erebos. He was a big deal in this set coming up. And honestly, if I'm not mistaken, because some of these are still a surprise to me, I never memorized all of the gods. He was pretty handy. So, let's start with him. Erebos, God of the Dead. Indestructible as long as your devotion to black is less than 5. Erebos isn't a creature. Your opponents can't gain life. Pay 2 life, draw a card. I would run stuff like this. Because easily, pay 2 life to draw a card, that's nice. People think, 2 life. No, life is a resource in Magic. It just is, straight up. And being able to draw a card off 2 life is traditional. That's literally playing, God, what is it? There's an instance, 2 black, pay 2 life, draw a card. It's actually sorcery, not instant, I'm sorry. Can't think of it off of the Pact of Blood or something like that. Regardless, it's a staple built-in effect that is standard to a lot of black. And your opponent can't gain life, which means if you're running drain decks, your opponent can't recover too hard from it, which is just always good. You usually see can't gain life in red, but it's nice to see it in that black motif. Now, yeah, see, okay. So when you see the shiny, and I'm hoping this is catching some of that at the angles I'm running it, when you see the shiny, you can see the constellation in there, which is nice. It's a little more difficult on black as a color because of the darkness to it, which honestly fits with the flavor. They definitely for sure made it stand out a little bit if you catch it at the right angle, which is nice. And still the whole shading, all of it is beautiful. Okay, next one. Phoenix, God of Deception. Now, I know a lot of Dimir players out there love fighting against a Dimir deck. It's always fun because of the types of control they do is a little off-center than like the black-white, which is nice. Now, this one, indestructible, as long as your devotion to blue and black is less than 7. Phoenix isn't a creature. Creatures you control have tap. Target player puts top X cards in their library into their graveyard, where X is the creature's toughness. Now, I have seen fun little ideas of running like blue-black walls, or just big toughness creatures with this, and just running it as a control stall mill strategy. Mill decks don't always work so well in Commander because usually you're going off pretty quick at one point or another, but of course blue and black gives you a little bit of control on the field, which is just nice. Love me some mill, and that just makes mill so much nicer. Okay, dropping that down. Now this is, in my preference, one of my favorite gods from this original set, and that is Theros, God of Passage. I do not like my stuff dying when I can't have a way to recover it, and this just helps. So, as long as your devotion to white and black is less than 7, Theros isn't a creature. Whenever another creature you own dies, return it to your hand unless your target opponent pays 3 life. 5/4 for 3. He's cheap to get out. White-black has a good color for this specific set exactly. And just in general, being able to get stuff back to your hand, even your opponent has to pay 3 life. You're either going to make them chunk themselves for 3 or bring back. And in a game of Commander, all you got to do is aim for the guy with less life. This has been seen in a few decks. I know the Apostle decks are really popular with this. I run this in a couple of different decks because I really like Theros. I mean, he has the whole Hades motif. I loved Hades in the Greek mythos. It was always great. The colors work really well for black and white, but kind of still, the darker ones just, it doesn't seem to shine as much as the other colors, but I guess darker mana, darker colors as a general aren't going to shine as much, I guess. There's some things in here that do really pop off when you catch it at the right light, but the constellations themselves, it's really hard to see them unless you catch it, while the other ones, you can kind of just sit it standing, and you can really kind of tell. I mean, you look at it a little bit, you start to pick it up with your eyes, but really, you want to catch it on that shine. See, if you can have a perfect angle, it all lights up. So pretty. And it wasn't even Hades. What is it? This was Charon, not Hades. This is Hades. This is Chiron. Messed up there. I just realized as I'm going through, so do apologize for that. I swear I know my mythology. Now, what was the random card we got? Fits really well with this coloring, too. What do you know? We obtained Sauron, Vengeful Bloodlord. Now, this guy, I have him in a Kethis deck because he gives all my stuff lifelink, which gives you just so much survivability. So, of course, as long as you return creatures and planeswalkers you control have lifelink. You can +2 him to deal 1 damage to target creature or player, which, of course, will trigger his lifelink. You can -X and return target creature with converted mana and the cost of X from your graveyard to the battlefield. That creature is a vampire in addition to its other types. Now, I don't play a ton of vampire tribal myself, just because I don't always go for the meta or whatever it is, the super popular stuff. I do have a Madness Vampire deck, but it's black-red, Rakdos for the win. Sauron is nice. I've played against enough white-black to know this could be nasty very quickly. And especially with the meta that the new Sauron was dropping, this just... the art on this, just as before, the stained glass arts are beautiful. I love full holographic. It shines nicely, and altogether, pretty solid pull, I'd say. Let's stack these up and get on to the next box, right? So far, I really am impressed by this. The idea is great, and I know it just feels like they're gouging for more money and whatnot, but honestly, think about it. There's some players can't afford to drop $50 on a card. One of these boxes is a little pricey, but you're getting 3 cards out of it. At least 1 card you want, maybe more, and at least 2 trade fodders, because people are going to trade for these, let's be honest. Now, we're going into Stargazing Volume 4. Let's see what we got on this sucker. Get that out of the way. Get this off my box. Okay. Secret Lair Drop Series. Volume 4. Definitely keeping these boxes. Very nice. Oh, this guy. I have heard stories of Theros, God of the Forge. So many decks run this guy because that mono red burn is just beautiful. Okay, let's get this open. Yes. Yes. Set that aside. Yep, and the red really does make those constellations just pop more. Even if it's not, you can really tell they're there, which is nice, especially for what they're going for here. So pretty. So 4 drop, 6/5. As long as your devotion to red is less than 5, Theros isn't a creature. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, Theros deals 2 damage to each opponent. You can tap 2 colors, and a red creature you control get +1/+0 to end of turn. So overall, it really does an essence on red. It's going to burn people with a 2 damage to each of them every time you enter the battlefield a creature. That is wonderful in every way, shape, and form. Even running him just as a mono red commander, just stupid. I mean, in a red deck, Torban with this, 4 damage at each creature drop. So now you just gotta get a bunch of tokens, and goblins. He's just so good and so pretty. I gotta admit, I like how the belt shines up. They're really putting it on that he is the gear master on this one for the forge portion. Love it. Okay, next one. Mogus. God of Slaughter. A Minotaur. Very nice. Black-red Minotaur makes sense. As long as your devotion to black and red is less than 7, Mogus isn't a creature. In the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, Mogus deals 2 damage to that player unless they sacrifice a creature. That's just value on a 4-drop. 4-drop, and they're either taking 2 to the face or sacking a creature. Now, if your person gets a token deck, it might not be that much, but it's not every deck's a token deck. Let's be honest here. Some decks you want some tokens for, like Blockitude, and this just removing things automatically is great. Each opponent's upkeep, that's just nice. I like it. Minotaur motif is nice. Rakdos is always a fun color set, especially for what he does. Overall, beautiful. Now this, I have a special place in my heart for this color. Izzet colors. Keranos, God of Storms. As long as your devotion to blue and red is less than 7, Keranos isn't a creature. Reveal the first card you draw on each of your turns. Whenever you reveal a land card this way, draw a card. Whenever you reveal a non-land card this way, Keranos deals 3 damage to any target. He bolts for free or lets you draw a card. I love it. I would love to run a deck around this. Just, Izzet Keranos, God of Storms. Now, the prettiness of it's still the same. The blue-red really does work well in making those colors pop. I love it. I mean, you can kind of see almost an electric-like background to it, just ever so lightly, especially in his hand here, where you can tell he's trying to hold a bolt. It's wonderful. I really do like this. That's nice. 6/5 for 5. It's a passive effect you want anyways. Some of them you can tell, like 7/5 for 4, they're meant to swing into things. Other ones you can tell they're meant for what they're supposed to be doing. And the best thing about that, each turn when you draw a card, so you can trigger on your opponent's turn and trigger it again. Now, what did we get off the stained glass? Ooh, we got some niceness here. Yeah, for that deck I really want to build, and we'll see one day. Rawl Storm Conduit. Whenever you cast a copy an instant or sorcery spell, Rawl deals 1 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. +2 to scry 1, -2 when you cast your next instant or sorcery, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. He drops and can instantly copy the next spell you play. This is just all sorts of ridiculous. I know there's infinite combos with him that came into Standard. I had a friend who ran that deck. It's wonderful. You can see the lightning bolt motifs are a little bit different on the back, but the stained glass makes them so pretty. It's very nice. Raw is a good pull for sure. So far, overall, nice. We're getting down to our last box now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this set aside, put away, and then we should be pretty good to go. So, now we've come to the end. Volume 5. The last box. The only one we have left on this journey of fantastic and wonderful art. But it's okay. It's okay. Sometimes those journeys got to come to an end, right? Let's get this open. Get this out of the way. Love it. Popping it open. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, getting into the green. It's definitely one of my preferred colors. Not to be biased, I love green. Green is fun, always. And if the card will come off the bottom of the box, that glue is good. There we go. Okay, let's start off with Nylea, God of the Hunt. Now, I think I've heard people pronounce it Nylea. I apologize if I mispronounce things, but we'll work with what we got. So, Nylea, God of the Hunt. See, the green just... it pops. You can see the twinkles in the corner just a little bit better. Love it. That could just be personal preference. That could be crazy. Who knows? Anyways, indestructible, 4-drop, 6/6. As long as your devotion is 2 green is less than 5, Nylea isn't a creature. Other creatures you control have trample. Tap 3 in a green. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. That's just pure for 4-drop, 2/2 to everything, and everything's got trample. That's just constant, non-stop wanting to green stomp on everything. That's nice. And the art itself, fantastic. Can't hate it, love it. So nice and green. Next, yes. Xenagos, God of Revels. Who doesn't love Revels? I love Revels. Revels be had. So, the shine on this, of course, also very nice. Indestructible, 6/5/4/5. As long as your devotion to red and green is less than 7, Xenagos isn't a creature. And at the beginning of combat, on your turn, another target creature you control gets haste and +X/+X until end of turn, where X is creature's power. So you get haste and berserk for the win. Though berserk might only do just power, but that doesn't matter. Every turn you get a free mega booster on a creature, and in green-red, you're gonna love getting boosted. All that Gruul fun, right? Let's see here. The shine also just comes really well. The red and the green work nicely. It almost has a golden tinge to it because of how that's shaded. Beautiful. Love it. Okay. Now, this is one a lot of people probably like playing, and I can understand why. That's Farrakha, God of Affliction. 3-drop, 5/5, indestructible. As long as your devotion to black and green is less than 7, Farrakha isn't a creature. 1 black, 1 green. Exile target creature card from a graveyard. Its owner creates a 1/1 black and green snake enchantment creature token with Death Touch. Not only getting enchantment tokens, they're 1/1s with Death Touch. If you can get them first strike, that's pretty much it. It's over. There's lots of cards that can make Death Touch just so overpowering, especially some of the new Vraskas that have come out that make you gain extra bonuses with Death Touch. Such a nice card. And I gotta admit, the black and green does give that gold tint as well. It's really nice on the constellation lines, and it goes all the way down and around snake-like. That's nice. I like the coloring. I like the effect. 5/5 for 3. Beautiful. Especially when you can cheat creatures out so easily with those delving colors. Now, the random card. Let's see what we got here. Okay, not bad. A Johnny the Great-Hearted. Creatures you control have vigilance, +1 to gain 3 life, -2 to put a +1/+1 counter on each creature, and a loyalty counter on each other planeswalker you control. That can get ridiculous very quickly. There's a lot of ways to make your planeswalkers just go off, and this being able to make them stronger is just fantastic. It's lovely being able to have proliferate with stuff like this. It's great. I do like the art in the background. A Johnny is one of those planeswalkers we don't see a lot of because he's very tribe protective, even though he is one of the Oath planeswalkers. Gatewatch. Yes, Gatewatch. That's the name. Forgot it there for a second. I do like the coloring on these. And probably not noticed so much. You can see some of their abilities. You can see how it bleeds around in the background. I can see his foot down there. Overall, very nice. I like what they're doing with that. Hopefully with a lot of the newer planeswalkers they do as well, because right now they're only working on more of the Spark ones with that stained glass, which isn't in and of itself a bad thing, but come on. We all know we want to see some other planeswalkers with some funness on there, right? Right? So, that was our pullout. Those were the gods we got. Very nice. I enjoy it. I enjoy it very much. Can't argue with that. Let's get these put away. So, I do thank you for watching this with me again. Any feedback I get, always a plus. I love getting feedback. I'm not a negative person. I'm very constructive when I receive feedback. So anything you like, just let me know. If you want to see something specific, let me know down in the comments. Remember, like, share, subscribe, let your friends know. Let anybody you know who likes Magic, who might enjoy these. I very much want to get this out here, and I hope I can do more and more videos that people will enjoy watching. So for now, I do thank you for tuning into Josh Fluken today. This channel will continue to be going forward with streaming and the such. I'll be probably uploading more here within the next week. Had a little bit of a hiatus, but working on some new things. It'll be very nice and pretty and shiny. So, again, thank you for joining us. Thank you to my supporters for supporting me, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye!